Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. So Chris started his job yesterday, and the past 2 mornings I've gotten up and made sausage, and it was just taking so long. It was like 30 minutes of my morning. So I decided today that I'm going to cook a bunch of bacon up, and then that way he'll have it already ready to go all week, and I won't have to worry about making a bunch of hot meat in the morning. So he can just heat it up, throw him an egg on here, and he'll be good to go. But it got me to thinking that there may be some people out there that don't know about how amazing bacon grease is and how you should be saving it. Some people strain their bacon grease when they're done and they're pouring it into their jars, but I have never strained mine. I don't see a reason to. You'll have those little bits and pieces toward the bottom there, and to me that's just more flavor, so I've never really noticed a difference. I tried to strain it one time, and it was so annoying, and I was like, this is so silly, so I just don't strain it. It just seems like an extra step that's not needed. So I do prefer to leave bacon grease in my refrigerator, but you can leave it on the counter. I just think it lasts a little bit longer when it's in the fridge, because oils and grease can go rancid. So by now you're probably asking, like, Alicia, well, what do I do with all the bacon grease once I save it up? Well, my favorite thing to do with the bacon grease is to save it all up, and I refinish cast iron skillets with it. It is one of the best methods to get that like really good non-stick on a bacon or on a cast iron skillet. So if you have a cast iron skillet that you're like, it's just not non-stick, try some bacon grease. What I would do is put a very thin layer on it, put it upside down on a pan in your oven, 350 degrees for 2 hours, let it cool down, and then repeat 2 to 3 times, and you'll have a really good seasoned cast iron skillet. But bacon grease can also be substituted for any time you need grease, oil, butter. 2 of my favorite things to put bacon grease in when I'm cooking it is collard greens, or any type of greens really. And I also like to put it when I'm making like pinto beans in the crock pot or on the stove, and green beans. If you throw a little dollop of bacon grease in with your green beans, a little bit of salt, the best tasting green beans ever. You can also use it in some canning recipes. This one I'm going to tell you is not USDA approved, so if if you need the government to tell you how to can, this recipe is not for you. But one of my favorite things to use bacon grease for is in dry canning potatoes. So I'll cut up potatoes, put a little dollop of bacon grease in the bottom of each jar, throw in some just the potatoes, no water, and then we can them just like you would any other potato canning recipe. And when I tell y'all that those dry canned potatoes with a little bit of bacon fat in the bottom of it makes the best frying potatoes. It's absolutely amazing. In fact, I really, really want to make some right now. They were hard to stay on the shelf. There's also some recipes out there where people use bacon grease in breads and cornbreads. I've never tried it other than I season my cast iron skillet with it. Like I put a big dollop all around it before I make my cornbread, but I've never actually put it in the recipe. So if you have, make sure you comment down below and let us know if it's worth it, and maybe we can give it a try. And you'll get a lot of bacon grease from every pound of bacon that you make. This is probably maybe 2 or 3 pounds worth, so it doesn't take long to fill up an entire jar, and it's one of those really creamy type of greases and oils, so it's not hard like tallow is, and it's not fully liquid like something like bear grease would be. So this one is very smooth to the smooth texture, so it's one of those ones that I like to put in the refrigerator because I can still like easily scoop it out. One thing I will say though is that when you're cooking bacon grease and you know you're going to add it to your jar, make sure you go ahead and take your jar out of the refrigerator while you cook bacon so it has time to get to room temperature. I have shattered a couple of jars over the years because I haven't taken it out to let it acclimate, and it just gets, you know, the hot and the cold, and you have a broken jar. I also wanted to mention that before you go pouring the bacon grease into your mason jar, to let the bacon grease sit for a few minutes and let it cool down. If you just go from like bubbling like this, you have a risk of breaking your jar, you know, even more. So just make sure, like, eat breakfast, do something around the house, and then come back. And if it solidifies before you get to put it in the mason jar, just turn it on low, and as soon as it gets barely liquid, you can pour it in your mason jar. It's not a big deal. But yeah, don't throw it in there when it's still bubbling like this, because that'll be a disaster. So yes, if you are not already saving your bacon grease, if you're just throwing it down the drain, you are missing out on liquid gold in the kitchen. I'm telling you. Once you start using it for certain recipes, or you figure out like, hey, I can just throw this in the pan before I cook eggs, and I'm saving myself some money because I don't have to buy butter as often. Alright, I'm going to finish cooking up all this bacon, get Chris's breakfast ready for the week. If this is your first time seeing us, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, all the things, and comment down below, were you already saving your bacon grease, or is that something you're going to start doing now? We'll see y'all later. Bye.